Hello all! Hi, my name's Johnny and today we're going to talk all about setting up your bass. The setup is absolutely crucial, from taking an okay bass to a good bass and a good bass to a great bass. Even £5,000 basses will need a setup. A setup has multiple elements to it. So one part is how well it plays, and this is completely down to personal preference. So if you like what's called a high action, so the distance between the strings and the fretboard being really high and it's harder to push down and play, and you like that, great, you can set it up like that. But if you want it lower, the strings closer to the fretboard and makes it a bit easier to play, then that is all done through a setup. Also as well is the intonation. The intonation is basically the bass, is it in tune with itself? Sometimes you can make it in tune up here, and then as you make your way up the fretboard and get to the 12th fret, which is the octave of the open note, it can be out of tune. It doesn't sound like the same note, which it should be. And that is all controlled through the setting up of the instrument. Three main steps that I use when setting up a bass. And the thing I use to remember it is tab, T-A-B. So start off with T for truss. Now the truss stands for truss rod, which is the piece of metal which runs through the neck and makes it stay in place, makes it straight. Without that metal, you're going to have the wood bending and warping based on the temperature. So this metal rod helps to keep it nice and straight, and that is absolutely crucial for doing any part of the setup, hence why it comes first. And some basses have a little wheel or something down at the base of the neck, but the majority of kind of more traditional basses have it at the top there. Next up is A, which stands for action, is the distance of the strings to the fretboard. And that is done by adjusting the height of the saddles down here. And B stands for bridge. Really, it should be intonation, but tai, T-A-I doesn't have the same ring to it as tab. So it's just an easy way of how to remember which orders to do things. So the intonation, like I said, is the bass in tune with itself. And we're talking about these octaves up here, and as you move up the fretboard, that's where it can get a bit dodgy sometimes, and you want it to all be in tune if you're going to play in tune with a band. This is done by adjusting the scale length. Now, this is a full scale instrument. You might be like, what do you mean? Do you make it short scale? I just mean by getting a screwdriver to the end of the bridge here, into these screws, you can change the position of the saddles on the bridge, and you move it further away to make it lower, to make the note lower, and move it closer to make the note higher. And we'll get into that when we go and adjust the intonation. So here, just hold sleeve of t-shirt, got them on here, shake, and I will pop a little bit on them too much, so they'll go up and then start going in circulation. Everyone can see that, so we darkening that forward. There's a bit of wood there, and these bits on there, I'll cut that a little bit more. It smells absolutely glorious too. I used it on my SFP bass that I did videos on, and that was in a horrific state. I applied a little to it, and it cleaned up really, really nice, and really, really nice. So yeah, great stuff. And then, so that's not too bad. So the strings are now back on, the bass is in tune, and we're in drop D. And it's important to get the tuning right before you do set up, because different tunings will require different setups due to the thickness of the strings and the tension of the strings as well. So let's get on to our first step, which is the truss rod. Now for this, we are going to need an Allen key, and that is what will fit into the hole up here. So just push it in until you feel it slot in like so. How do I know which way to turn it? How do I know if it even needs doing? Well, there is techniques where you can get a capo on the first fret, and then you can measure the space. Then using a tool, you can measure the space between like the 7th fret and the string, and see how far, or fretting both ends, you can see how much of a gap there is here. So it lets you know that if the neck is bowing like this, then there's going to be a gap. So fretting, you can kind of get a view like that, so I can see that there's a bit of a gap, so it's not, the string isn't sitting flush against it, it's uneven, which means it's going like that. Or the way that I like to do is to look for yourself. Grab the bass. I was never able to do this for a long time. I never understood until I just saw it one day and I got the angle right and I could see what was going on. So take some practice. So close one eye, have a look from your bridge down to your nut, and yeah, I can see that it is going a bit like this. I can see it in the frets and I can see it across the edge of the neck as well. There is a bit of a bow. So we need to straighten that out in order for it to be sorted out. And to do that, we need to tighten the truss rod. Now, normally it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. For your truss rod, it's the other way round. So I am wanting to pull it upwards towards myself to tighten it. So, and you want to do this in very small parts. The worst thing you could do is max out your truss rod by twisting it lots and lots. So let's give it a little, like a quarter turn. Have a look again. Okay, already it's helped a little bit. It's amazing how much of a difference just little turns make. I must stress, if you're uncomfortable with doing any of these changes, then take it to a luthier. Take it to somebody that knows what they're doing, because you don't want to damage your instrument. But if you can learn how to do it yourself and do it well, I'm still getting there, but absolute power to you, and I think you should definitely try and learn. So I can see already that is making a massive difference. Still there. I can one more turn after this probably. We'll say as well, adjusting and filing your nut and getting the right strings that fit in within your nut, file in the nut, and that is an extra step. Not one that I'll be going into today, but something to keep in mind. So now we're happy with the truss rod adjustment, we're going to move on to sorting out the action. So as I said before, the action we're looking for is the distance between, I like to do it at the 12th fret, between the frets and the fretboard. At the minute, it's set up okay. That truss rod adjustment helped wonders, but I do want it a little bit lower. So I'm going to get my smaller Allen key here, and which fits into the little holes on the saddles of my bridge, he says. Okay, so then I'll bring that round. Let's bring it up. Just lower it down a little bit. You need to do this for each string. Tune again. Yeah, I've gone down a whole semitone. Now I've got the action how I want it for my P bass. Now we're going to move on to sorting out the bridge or the intonation. Oh no, my phone storage filled up mid-filming. So luckily it didn't cut off too much. I just sorted out the intonation on these two strings. So I've deleted a few things and we've still got time and room to do the main two strings here. Okay, so sorry, my phone ran out of storage. So I thought it was filming, but it wasn't. I've already done these two strings, sorted the intonation at the bridge, but we're going to sort these two out now. So we have got our screwdriver here, which fits nicely into our bridge here, and what we want is in tune. Yep, A. Then let's have a look at what the octave is like. A little bit sharp. Because it's a bit sharp, we need to lengthen the scale, which means pulling the saddle this way. So turn it to the right. Sometimes you might need to wiggle the string a little bit off of there and pull it in, because sometimes the string will be too tight down onto the saddle, so it's holding it down. So we need to move that. So you might need to fiddle around a little bit with that. I reckon one more turn. Perfect. And then, see, it is way too sharp on that note. So let's lengthen that scale. Nearly there, so close. So, oh, you can see there a couple of really simple steps that actually require minimal tools to get this bass back in working order again, and plays absolutely beautifully now. Like I said, this isn't a professional setup. There are more things you can do to get it even better, but for this you might need some more tools and look into a bit more, some research, and there's loads of videos out there. I just thought I would give my 2 cents on what I do to get my basses playing how I like them. And yeah, since I've learned how to set up basses, it saved me a lot of money. Yeah, fantastic way to get your basses playing and sounding the way that you need them to be. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.